Hello, sunshine. How art thou? How art thou? You are in for a treat tonight. This is something that you guys have been waiting for, right? You've been waiting for this. I think a lot of you have been waiting for this. Yeah, you're in for a treat tonight. I'm going to basically turn it over to the ladies. But as of right now, it's snowing in Ohio. Did you know that? It's snowing in Ohio, and that is where our psychic chick is. So, um, she had to go to a more stable spot so that she can get a better connection. So that's what we're waiting for her to set up because she has to get to a better location because it's snowing in Ohio. Whereas here, it's nice. It's like almost spring here. Like it's very weird. Very, 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 very weird. But yeah, she's on her way to a more stable spot. She's on her way to a more stable spot. And Tawana, she's here, but she's not here. She's in the background trying to handle something real quick. So you got me for like a second. You got me for a couple of minutes. So how art thou? I had the most craziest day today. I did absolutely nothing because I actually wound up having a toothache. And because of this pandemic, to get to the dentist, yeah, they don't want everybody to go there. So apparently, because I have RA, and if I have an infection or something, and it like takes over my whole entire body, and because I had an infection, it gave me a temperature. So because I had the fever, and letting them know you have the fever, any other time they'd be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we understand." Now it's like, "Oh no, you can't come in. You need a COVID test." So yeah, I had to do that over the phone, which was fine for me because I don't like dentists. But hi, gorgeous.
Hello, beautiful.
How's Miss Z? Is she all right?
Yeah, she's in her bed with her music. She didn't even want her story.
Oh,
She kept taking my phone and like flipping it over and restarting it again. And then when I picked it up, she snatched it out of my hand. I'm like, okay, I got the hint. You don't want your story. Okay, fine.
okay, all right. So let the queen be. But so this is Tawana. This is my girl Tawana. She is our fiber artist and she does tarot readings. So introduce yourself, Tawana.
Hi, of course, I'm Tawana. I've been reading tarot for the past 5 years. Um, and I've just been taking a break here and there, you know. And whenever somebody asks me for a reading, I go ahead and give them a reading and helping out my friend Shauna here. So I'm glad to be doing it again. I
So
think the last time I did it was what, New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, and you blew people away. But let me tell you, I just want to tell them the story about you doing mine because you did mine, and it was just crazy because I don't know why, but I was just going past your page and I noticed you was doing readings on your page,
Mm-hmm.
and I just said, "Can you do mine?" Just out of the blue, can you do mine? And you did. The thing is, you was not doing them on the spot. You were doing them like you would go, you do them, and then you will upload the video. So
Right.
when I got mine, I was able to like sit back, relax, and I had my air cards in, and I'm listening. And I have rheumatoid arthritis. I have pain all the time. And as you're going, you just kept saying, "My shoulder hurt. My shoulder hurt." And I'm like, okay, her shoulder, but your shoulder was hurting the same exact way mine was hurting. And you kept saying, I wonder if your shoulder is hurting because I keep getting this pain on the right side. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Now, again, this wasn't even live. This was something that you did maybe like an hour or two prior. So I said, you know what? This one is the truth because because yeah, she was feeling my pain. The
And the building that I live in, there's so much, and it's hard for me to stay grounded in here because I know when somebody's in distress. I know when somebody needs an ear to, just need somebody to rant to. There's this one particular person, her hip was hurting. Another person, she just was so, you know, bombarded, and she doesn't speak to anybody. So it's just like right now, my shoulder's been killing me for quite some time, and it's right in this one area. And I'm like, okay, Shauna, or whoever it is, need to get it together.
It's not me this time. I have a toothache.
Because I'm like, look, my body is already shot. I don't need any additional pain.
How crazy is that? So I said, I know you was doing a reading one time, and then Toy was doing a reading one time. Now you both was doing them in my group, Redskins and the Restless. And it was just a all of a sudden thing. It wasn't planned. Neither one of them was planned. And I think you guys were like, let's do this together. So you guys never together did this. So this will be the first time you guys will do a collaboration.
Right.
But the way you guys feed off of energy is way beyond me. If there is a skeptic in the something, you have no reason to be skeptical at all whatsoever because I wouldn't put the two ladies on here if I didn't know that their energy weren't good. And that was another reason why we held off a little bit
Yeah.
because
When you're in a
the
bad
energy
spot.
needs to be good. Yeah. Yeah. So and that's what I respect about you and Toy. You and Toy both, you want to make sure your energy is good so that you can feed off and give good energy and vibes to everyone else. And I appreciate you guys for that. So I
Thank you.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So before we go on with Tawana first, because I know that Toy is getting ready for because it's snowing over there. So she ran
Oh
out of power.
my gosh.
Yeah, and we're living like a spring life. That's unbelievable. We live in the spring life. But she's preparing to get into a safer area. So while she's getting in a safer area, Tawana's gonna start first. But before you start, Tawana, I have to do my little thing.
Go
Um
ahead.
so did you guys get your Popl? I hope you did. I hope you got your Popl because Popl is the new in thing. Popl is that thing that you need for a business card or contact. If you want to contact anybody, you don't even need a business to do this. Get your Popl because all you have to do is pop right somebody right in the back of their phone and your information will automatically come up. And this way you don't have to scramble for a card or you don't have to scramble for what's your number, what's this, because sometimes that don't work and sometimes you can't hear the person. But this right here, you just pop, and if you have an Android and they have an iPhone, it doesn't matter. It's okay because you are able to do it. As long as you have an iPhone that's XR, I think it's XR and newer, you're good. And if you have a Samsung SG and newer, you're good. Other than that, get you a Popl. So in the description, there is a link for Popl. And for you to get 20% off, you get 20% off when you put Shauna the Diva. And I swear to you, you will definitely love your Popl. I love it. I carry it everywhere. So you can get the keychain or you can get the regular circle, put it on your bag, put it on your phone. You can put it anywhere and just pop somebody as they're going up the stairs. And if you don't have no time and you're rushing, you just pop them and you're good to go. So I just wanted to put that in there. Also, I have merchandise now. So if you have any shirts that you would like to buy, it's there in the description down below. Tawana and Toy are doing this, and they are doing this for us as a courtesy, which is absolutely great, and I appreciate them. In the description is their donation. Like if you want to donate to either one of them, Tawana has her PayPal and Toy has her information in there. So if you would like to donate, that would be absolutely brilliant. My donation is the super chat, which is down at the bottom where you see the dollar sign. You just click on that and super chat comes up. But let me explain to you something. If you click on the super chat, that goes to me and me only. It do not go to the lady. So just keep in mind, if you click the super chat, it's just a donation for me. But their PayPal and their Cash App information is in the description. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Now it's on and popping. But right now you can so how you want to do this? You want to have someone ask a question. If there is a super chat or if there is a donation, you guys go first. That's the only thing we can do, and that's fair, right? That's fair. So if anyone do a super chat or donate to one of the ladies, we are going to bump you up. Other than that, if you have a question, put some question marks on the beginning and on the end of your question so that we do not bump you. That way I can see that you have a question and it'll like highlight your question. So question marks in the beginning and question marks on the end if you have a question. And Tawana can start off until Toy can get into a safe spot. So I'm gonna start off since it's me.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna start off. I'm very blessed. I really cannot ask for anything else more. I just want to know, will 2021 for me be a blessed year like this year was? Now, yes, we went through a lot of issues this year, and I even myself had COVID-19 and some downs, and I want to move. So, will I be able to move in 2021, and will it be a blessed year like now?
Okay, for this, I don't need the cards. If
Oh,
you want to move, you know the process. You have to um, do your research of the area that you want to live in. Okay, if you know what you want, you go for it, and that's how you always been. You want something, you go for it. You want your home in 2021, then you go for it. You know, you always had that, and you still have that ability to achieve the goals that you set out for. And if it is, even if it doesn't happen in 2021, maybe the year after, maybe the year after, it all depends. You know, that's what you want, you manifest it, you do the work. That's how it goes.
you say I don't need those tarot cards to tell this girl that. You do the same thing Toy do. Toy do the same thing. Shauna, really, come on. You know how you are.
Really?
You know, every time you set your mind to something, you do it.
That is yes, that's very true. Very, very true.
It's
And
been a point though where I didn't think it was gonna come true because I was just going through so many like downs, and I'm not even gonna say ups and downs. I was going through a lot of downs. So it was a point in time where I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen, but everything's been really like a good blessing now.
But it's like going through a very thick forest with no light whatsoever to guide you through the forest to get to where you need to go. And that's what a lot of us are going through right now. Um, outside of COVID, it's something that we're going through. We have to shed the old and become new again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of healing that people need to do. There's a lot of trauma that people have pushed down so much for so long that it'll just pop up and put you in that, oh damn, what the hell happened here? I did No, when it's time for you to heal from something, it's that time.
Right.
And you just have to have that faith to make it through, to get to where you need to get to.
I am just gonna keeping on because like I said,
Yeah.
sometimes my mind is like worried because of all the stuff that I went through in the past. So sometimes I'm like, am I gonna make it this time? Am I gonna do it this time? Like it's always something I'm worried about because of all that craziness I went through in the past. But I
Can't
know
let
I'm gonna
your
be
past
okay.
affect your future. I tell a lot of people that don't let your past affect your future. Because once you start, reminiscing on the past, that means you're not letting the past go. And if you're going to keep holding on to the past, how much further can you go? You're not going to get but so far.
You're right. You're
So let the past go. Say, thank you, God. I made it through A, B, C, and D. And keep pushing. Keep pushing. That's all you can do. All right?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, if there's any questions out there, make sure you come on, put in your questions, ladies. What are we here for? What are we here for? What are we here for? We want to see those questions come up. Trying to make sure Toy is okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
and I know those roads have to be treacherous.
I did not realize that it was snowing in Ohio. So
Neither did
I'm like,
I.
when she said that, I said, huh? And then I asked Gail, I'm like, it's snowing in Ohio? What? I'm like, get out of here. I did not know that. I had no idea. But if anyone has any questions for Miss Tawana, all you have to do is type your question, but make sure you put a what you call it, the question mark in the
Question.
beginning and a question mark at the end, so we can know that you are trying to get a question. Thank
Okay.
you. Hey,
Okay.
Shanti.
As I was shuffling the cards, all right, 3 cards came out. Well, it was 2, but there was a third one stuck. Um, I got the king, a queen, and in between is the strength. There's someone. It could be a relationship. It could be a marriage, and the marriage is not that strong. The relationship is not that strong, and it's over money. And if it's during this time, that's understandable. That's understandable if there's money issues at this time, and either one or both parties feel that they can't make ends meet. They can't. They don't have it in them to get through this their financial struggles. But the female is more worried. I get more materialistic from her. And he's trying, but now he's at that point where He's just going to sit there and he's just going to like wait for things to happen. He's going to wait for it to come. But the waiting and the materialism is going to tear the relationship apart. The relationship or the marriage or whatever the case may be. But it's like there's nothing holding it together. It's stress, a lot of stress. So I don't know if that applies to anybody, but that's what came out as I was shuffling the cards.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
If that resonates for anyone, if you want, you could come forward. If that resonates for anyone, you could come forward. This is a question for Victoria. Will there be financial stability in my future? I
All
think
right,
that's everybody.
financial stability. Yes, that's a lot. You're right, Shauna. That's everybody's question right now, and this is one question that's hard to answer for any particular person for the simple fact that it's how you budget, it's your expenses, it's your miscellaneous expenses. There's a lot that plays into your financial stability. Say you want to buy a car, but with your job and the rent and things like that, you don't have that financial stability to buy that car, to pay the insurance every month, things like that. So you have to take those steps. I would check out your credit score. See how you can improve your credit score. If you have any old debts, like student loans, see what you can do about that to raise your credit score. Um, as far as depending on the job that you have, if there's a, how can I say it, potential advancement in the type of job that you have, work towards that if possible. If not, I'm not going to suggest leave and get another job because there are a lot of people out there that can't even find a job. So in this time, it's hard to say, but start off with the basics, budgeting, see where you are spending excessively, see where, what's prioritized, mainly prioritize. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen because I've been there. You get to that point and things are running smoothly, but there will come a time, probably 10 years down the road, there's a hiccup, and that always happens. So it's
That was
all the financial stability is all up to you. So thank you, Victoria.
okay. The next question. Hi, Tawana. Can you do a general reading for the group?
Well, I think the 3 cards that fell out could have been a general reading for the group, but I will do another one. But I will do one with a different deck. Get some positivity in the air. Excuse me. I hope that's not my daughter. No. My kids, I think they're all insane. Nobody is normal in this family. Not even
that's a lot of people family.
not even the cats.
Oh wow.
Even the hamster is a little touched in the head, okay? Who do you know who has a hamster that sleeps in the wheel? Like I said.
I guess
Yeah.
the character is comfortable in the wheel. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's
So
weird.
yeah. Okay. What message for the group? Message for the group. Okay. Oh, quite a few. Okay. The first one says, I see clearly. I willingly forgive. I breathe love into my vision, and I see with compassion and understanding. My clear insight is reflected in my outer sight. Okay, I see this as, like I said before, similar to going through the forest without any guidance, without any light. And of course, we all had somebody who did us wrong for one reason or another. To keep that from hurting you in any way, forgive. Whatever it is, forgive. You're not condoning you're not condoning their actions, but you're doing it for yourself because you need that peace. You don't want to go for the rest of your life being pissed off at someone because they did A, B, C, and D. You know, why would you want to go through life the rest of your life angry at somebody? You can't that you allowing them to take your peace away. You know, you're allowing them to steal that joy away. You know, so forgiveness is key. You know, and also see things in a different perspective. You know, always see something, you know, in a different perspective. Don't ever see anything straight on, you know, because there's a left, there's a right, and there's a back. So
Right.
just, you know, get a different perspective of certain of things that people say, people do, you know, things like that. It's just all about perspective, all about forgiveness. You know, don't let anybody take your peace away. Don't let anybody take your joy away by being angry at them, okay, for their actions. So, okay, here's another one. My future is glorious. I now live in limitless love, light, and joy. All is well in my world. Bottom line, see each day as a new day. Keep your vibrations high. Do things that bring you happiness. Blast the music, dance, do something. You know, even if you can't, you know, if you're quarantined and you can't get out, blast the music. You know, dance, meditate, do something. You know, because a lot of people are like suffering from depression, suffer from anxiety. So you just like to keep those emotions at bay, just see each day differently. You know, find something to do differently. Um, like I said, blast the music, dance, jump up and down, buy a video game, do something. And also bring out your inner child. And there's nothing wrong with that. To bring out your inner child. You know, you wanna draw a hopscotch game on a sidewalk, then by all means go for it. You know, you want to finger paint, go for it. Bring out the inner child. I think that will help as well. You know, if you allow your inner child to come out. Another one. I am flexible and flowing. I am open to the new and changing. Every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. I think that goes hand in hand with the last card I read.
I was about to say that.
It goes hand in hand. Okay. I now go beyond other people's fears and limitations. It is my mind that creates my experiences. I am unlimited in my own ability to create the good in my life. Which also, if I'm not mistaken, I said something similar to this before. Only you can achieve the goals that you set out for. Okay? Don't listen to anybody when they say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Nah. Pay attention. Don't pay attention to what they say. If you feel deep down inside and you have that energy and you have that fight and that motivation to go after what you are going after, then so be it. The hell with other people. We have lived a majority of our lives, even as kids, because of what others said we could and could not do, or what we couldn't achieve, or oh, that's crazy, that's not going to happen, and you're not going to make it. That's all that negativity that was put upon us when we, from a child. Now we're adults, and we still getting it, but we have to change that mindset and say, nope, I can do it. I can do it, and I will do it. Hi, Toy. How you
Hi,
doing?
Curtis.
I'm cold, y'all. I'm cold.
I don't know what is going
So
on.
let me tell you, okay, my lighting is horrible. I'm not gonna even try my little ring light that I'm trying to work out here.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Okay, so I don't know if you I'm gonna jump in on the topic after I tell y'all all this mess, the craziness that just happened. So I told you I booked the room to get out of here because the power was out.
Right.
So we get out of the park, barely could get out the door. We get in the parking lot, traffic jam in the parking lot, trying to get out, finally get out, streets all crazy. We drop my granddaughter off, and he like, oh, my son like, it ain't that bad. You want to go back home? Because we saw the power come back on as we was driving out of the parking lot.
Oh my goodness.
So then we had to trek back. It was crazy. This little
It
Look,
sounds
the look on your
y'all.
crazy.
face is like I had it. I
I
can't do it.
know it sounds crazy, and
I'm
then you
ready
jumped
to.
earlier anyway.
But look, wait a minute. I'm ready to show you. Like, y'all got to see the expression of my face. Like, I'm so over it. I'm like, what's the lesson? So, one of the big things that God, Spirit, Universe, whatever y'all want to call it, we just gonna say God today because that's where I'm at, has been trying to teach me and remind me is to release control. Mind you, my son is driving through the snow. We have at least 2 feet of snow on the ground. And I'm in the back seat like this. My phone dies. I can't even use my phone to distract me. I know nothing. I don't feel like any harm is coming. I feel okay, but at the same time, I'm like, Lord Jesus, help me. And so we kept coming to intersections of just traffic jams where it's just like all you see is red lights for like miles. And it looked like pileups of traffic, of like almost like a crash. And so I'm like, if it's the money, I got the money. I'll give you the money. We can just go back to the room because this just don't seem like a good idea. And so he said to his girlfriend, we our life has been in danger too many times. And he said, he looked at his girlfriend and said, were you afraid? She like, well, no, not really, because I knew you had it. And I'm thinking, you lying? He's lying. But that's all right. Stand by your man. I said, okay, I'm just gonna we gonna make it do what it do. So yeah, I'm here.
you, you okay now? You say,
I'm
yeah,
here.
I'm here.
And I'm good, y'all. I'm gonna tell
Oh
you honestly, it's so funny to me. Like I was telling Shannon earlier, I think whenever we're going live together, my day goes crazy. It don't matter how well I plan, what I don't have to do, my day goes crazy.
Every
man. That's what
single
happened the last
time.
time.
Last
Every
time I
single
was
time.
running in like,
Yes, every single time. But you want to know something, Toy? The last time you was on here, you fixed lives. I'm not even I'm not even lying. Whatever the craziness you had to go through, I still to this day keep getting told, like, my cousin, she does things, she say things differently, but she said, I'm gonna punch Toy in the face because I love her. And I'm like, huh? She's like, I just love her. I don't know her, but I swear if I find her, I'm gonna beat her up because she just, how did she know that? How did she know that? Like, I love her. Like, that's my new friend. I'm like, huh? Like,
Oh my gosh.
I listen. I get it. I get it. Because I mean, I get it. I get it. I get
that's
it.
because you tore her.
Oh, what
Tore
the heck?
her up.
Hold
Tore her
on.
up.
Where
But
did
all
my
right, let's
so
let's
what?
move up on in here because Tawana started. So what I said to the ladies, you if they want to give you a donation, the donation information is in the bottom. Yes, you look cute, Toy.
Girl, this lighting, I feel so dark. It's okay. It's okay. Me and my hair, I need my
You
hair
look
done.
cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
In the description is their donation. If you want to give a donation, you can ask questions, but those who give donations are first preference. If you give a super chat, that's first preference. If you give to them personally, they will let me know, and that's first preference. But other than that, if you have a question, I see some people are already on there, but it does not necessarily guarantee that your question will be answered. So I'm just letting you know that.
Tawana, you got your cards?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got two more to read. And I think this one, you came in at the right time for this one. I am at peace. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. Okay? And that
Well,
says, like
Tawana,
before, you gotta have
Tawana,
peace. Don't let nobody take your peace, your joy, anything like that. Yes.
we don't let them hoes. That's been my motto for 2020. We don't let them hoes. I promise you.
Toy crazy. I can't with Toy. Wait. Toy took over my show. And then my show number. We don't love them hoes.
We don't let them hoes. That's it. We don't let them hoes. It's so simple, but yet profound. Can't nobody take your piece that you don't love. We don't love them hoes. You ain't stressing me out.
That's right.
I promise you. Let somebody get on your nerves and you ready to cuss them out. You look at them and be like, we don't let them hoes. Promise you. It will fix your life. Okay. Tawana can't stop laughing.
I can't with her.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Okay. So, I don't even know where we go from there.
I did not. Okay. Tawana can't stop laughing.
I know, right?
Oh man, you got tears. You got me crying over here.
I'm sorry.
Oh man. Okay. Now we
Okay,
gotta
so do we have questions already? Have we answered any questions yet?
She answered a couple of them. So there's questions. I told them to just put some question marks on the beginning and an end, but those who give donations are first preference.
Okay. Tia said I would have been praying the whole time. Girl, listen. They almost got the apostolic Pentecostal out of me. I would have been back there talking in tongues, rolled up in the ball, talking about I promise you. That's the thing people don't understand about me. Like, I started off saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, with the evidence of speaking in tongues. I went down in the name of Jesus. I did. I came back up too. So that's my thing.
It's hot in here now.
Yeah, they get hot. It
Listen.
get
Oh, man.
hot.
So this is my
All right.
second live today. And I thought, like, how am I gonna do two lives in one day? This is fun. I'm good, y'all. Y'all good? I'm good. Everybody good?
I'm
Okay.
good. See, I have a fun time. Like my life is fun. Like we have a blast
Mhm.
on my life. So you should be having fun too. So
How you can't have fun with me?
there's no way possible you can't have fun with you, girl. Ain't no
Girl,
way
listen.
possible.
Oh, man.
I can correct
Ain't
you,
no
I can hurt your feelings and still make you laugh all at the same time. I don't
Oh,
understand why God did this to me. I'm trying to find what's your I know I there it is. I'm trying to find it so that I can share the live on my page
Mhm.
so folks can come play with me. Okay, now let me turn it down my phone. Okay, we got a little bit of a lag.
Found it.
All right. Whenever y'all ready, I'm ready. Now, I don't care who goes first. I'm up. That's fine with me. Um, Tawana, I am good at like chiming in on what I hear after what you hear, or where did my hold on? My screen just went away.
but I see you.
We see you.
Listen, like it just decided it was gonna install something. Don't do that. I'm usually really good at tag teaming. So whenever you're ready, however you want to flow, I'm good with it. And I'm not easily offended, and I'm not trying to be offensive. So y'all understand, I'm coming from love. All I do is deliver the messages. I don't write them.
Yep. Yes. And on that note, I always tell people I will tell you what you need to hear. I do not tell you what you want to hear. Because if you expect me to tell me what you want to hear, then I'm lying to you and I'm lying to myself. So,
And that ain't why God trusted me. He didn't trust me because
exactly.
I'm alive. Because I ain't got time to be lying to you. I'm too grown to be lying to you, and I ain't scared of you. None of y'all.
You sure ain't.
We'll let them hoes. Oh, I need tissue because my nose gonna start running.
Oh my God. Anybody have a question?
That's another thing. Okay, I will sneeze. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Lord, I'll start sneezing and then my nose will start running. I promise y'all it's bad. Okay. Um, let me see. I'm going.
Go Natalie.
We got a question.
Yeah. Highlight it.
Oh, I don't need cards for this one either. What are you expecting from 2021?
Who is this we talking about? I saw it.
Nat A.
Natalie.
Nat played with me last time, didn't she?
She did. She played with everybody.
Oh,
It all depends. What you want to accomplish, what you want, what are you looking for in 2021? Because 2021 can't give you anything. You have to take what you want. You have to go for what you want.
but one of the things she also needs to do is make herself clear on what she wants because she keep doing this thing of, oh, it's like the way I see it is almost like, oh, I want this big mansion, this big castle, this and this and that. Oh, I can only afford a shack. Oh, I want this and this and that. Oh, but I really want this Hummer. Oh, maybe a Cadillac, but I really can only afford a Honda. Oh, I can't even afford a Honda. Maybe a Honda. That's what she keep doing to herself.
Make a
She's
vision board. Make a vision board of what you want. The type of car. Make it reasonable. The type of house you want. Whatever you want in your life. Doesn't matter for the next day, the next week, the next year. Make a vision board. whatever magazines or whatever, or go online and print out pictures of what you want and work towards that, you know, because like I said before, the year is not going to give you anything. It's not going to fall in your lap. You have to go out there and work for what you want. Manifest what you want. And don't even bother playing the lottery, because the lottery is for suckers. I'm sorry. That's how it is.
And I'm gonna piggyback off that and say faith without works is dead. And manifesting is a lot of faith and a lot of being clear about what you want and setting your intentions. And yeah, you can do it a little differently to make it a little easier, but at the same time, it's still work. You still have to do the work. And sometimes the work of manifesting isn't just about getting the item, but having the capacity to receive the item. Like what Nat is doing, saying, I want this big house, I want this big house, but at the same time, you don't have the mindset to hold on to a big house. Because then you're thinking about, oh shoot, who gonna clean this big house? Oh shoot, who gonna do this with this big house? Oh, what about this light bill? What about this gas bill? What about shoveling the driveway? Because don't nobody want to deal with the snow. So there's a lot of things we ask for, but we have resistance to receiving it because we're not really ready to hold on to it or to handle it or to carry it. Because, like, for me, my thing is, I don't want to live in Cleveland because I don't like this snow. And what I get, snow. So what does that do? It gives me the resistance to be able to create and manifest what I really want. I don't want to live in this snow. And then it's like, even if life brought me to where I am and I have to be here for a while, what I want is the ability to be able to leave when I'm ready to leave. I don't want the snow. I don't want snow. Okay, what we got next? Oh, sorry, y'all. My nose. I'm gonna have to give me a cute handkerchief or something for when I'm doing reading so I can just dab my nose like a lady. All proper.
Yeah, I hear Ziva and my daughter Ziva, she's talking to her friends. I'm like, the girl needs to go to bed. Everybody, shut up.
You told them to shut up?
Yes.
Tell them to sing some lullabies or something. Leave them alone.
Yeah, you can send all the love you want, but in the meantime, the girl has a bedtime, and I'm tired.
Are these actual people she's talking to, or is these her other friends she's talking to?
Well,
I don't believe in telling kids that they can't see what they say they can. I don't.
That's why I leave her be, but I always am protective because I never could really tell sometimes who it is.
Okay.
All right.
That's understandable.
When we first moved here, there was a little boy from the 1800s. I can't remember his name, but he's been hanging around. And then I noticed my son that recently passed away, he comes around, he peeks in on her from time to time, you know. And I have his cat. So his cat, Tiger, she said Tiger this morning. So Tiger would sometimes lay next to his urn.
Okay.
So she's in there blabbing away. I'm just weary of, you know,
you don't want the wrong spirits getting attached to her or messing with her. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I already had to fight one battle. I'm too tired to fight another one. I just don't have it in me this time around. But it was a battle. It was a battle. Okay. Hello, beautiful Tawana Shanti Rose here. Where do I need? Okay, what do you mean by focus your energy? Because that could mean a lot of things. It could mean, you know, what area in your life. It can mean what part of your body. It could be health. It could be maybe you having heart issues. Maybe it could be your diet. It could mean a lot of things. So could you please specify?
Maybe her business. She just started a new business.
Mm.
Shanti
Well,
just started a new business and she's doing a couple of things when it comes to her business. She literally just launched it.
what I get is um a lot of her energy, not just with the business, needs to be focused on her self-care and personal power, not necessarily about self-love,
Mm-hmm.
but part of that is her learning how to manage her time with everything else going on and understanding who she is, because a lot of what's going to happen in her business, she's going to take it personally and it's going to affect her self-esteem.
Right.
So even if you say, I love myself, I know who I am, and yada, 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 having those rituals or routines in place kind of helps her stay balanced and keep her in a place where she'll be able to be more successful, not only personally, but also in her business. Then there's also, it feels like there's a relationship with a male. I'm not going to say male, I'm going to say masculine energy, that it feels almost like there's a tinge of jealousy that comes along with the business, and not necessarily her success, but just the amount of time and attention that the business takes from her. So, not sure if this is a romantic relationship or if it's a child, but it feels kind of close.
Aw, could be her child, Grayson, her baby.
Yeah, it feels kind of close. So it's one of them things to where it's it's important to learn that balance, so that that level of jealousy where it doesn't, that relationship doesn't feel neglected.
Aw.
Okay, Shanti, did you? She said, I'm here. Grayson is keeping me busy.
Babe, that's her son.
Okay.
Yep,
Was
that's
she
her
here
son.
when those three cards popped out?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Because it seems I just can't pinpoint. Because it does sound something similar. Those three cards sound something similar to what she's.
Yeah. Maybe it was her. If she
Mm-hmm.
was here, maybe it was her.
Yeah. Because that's what I picked up on. And I was gonna say something else. Um. Yes, she has to. Um. With the self care, because if she juggles too much at one time, like too much too soon, she could burn out. And that's what
Mhm.
she does not need, because she has to be there for her child, her spouse, whoever else on the family side. You
Right.
know, she's going to need to have that strength and that courage and everything else for them as well as her business, and do not, do not, do not, do not, how can I say this? Become an extreme people pleaser. When you do, you lose yourself, you lose, you could lose your family, you could lose your business. It all is balancing, because if you cater too much to your business, and say for instance, this customer wants a layered set by next week, and you know daggone well you can't do it. You don't have that time to have that layered set for the next week, okay? But you take the order anyway. And now, instead of you having 2 hours or 3 hours with your son, that 2 to 3 hours have to go to that order, because you wanted this person to have more. You wanted to keep this person as a customer. But having a customer shouldn't cost you the time away from your family.
And part of that too is just communicating and being
Mm-hmm.
realistic. And also, if you tell people it may be, instead of 2 to 3 weeks, tell them 4 to 6. It's better to give them a longer deadline and deliver sooner than it is to give them a shorter deadline and be late. And
Right.
and you
Right.
have to be honest with yourself. Sometimes, we all know when we have kids, ain't no telling what's gonna happen.
Oh boy.
I'm over here looking at Shanna getting mad because I know my yarn is in the car. I had yarn packed, I had my hooks and everything because I was about to work on my scarf. I need a scarf for me. It's
Well,
cold.
at least it's for you.
Somebody will take it, I'm sure.
I'm actually minimizing my custom orders now. I'm not gonna
Are
be
you?
doing them no more.
Yeah,
It's
because you,
time.
you burn yourself out so quickly, and it's hard to bounce back.
I'm
It's,
actually doing that because this is profitable more.
mm,
This is giving me more like I could spend 2 to 3 weeks on a blanket, whereas I can do this in graphing, and a day I make as much as I made in the 2 or 3 weeks in this one blanket.
Cause see, when I see things, and this is like what I had mentioned before about perspective. I don't see it as a monetary thing. I see it as, you know, to the point where you could burn yourself out when you take too much on, especially when you
That
have
too.
issues. You know, I could never. I'm not gonna say I could never, but I just don't see it that way. Because in order to have a business, they need you, and you need you, and your family needs you. So if you're not well on any aspect, you can't be there for anybody, business or personal.
I
Right.
know for me, one of the things with like even doing personal readings, it was one of the things to where you find that your energy expended isn't always worth the money coming in.
Exactly.
And I know for me, like right now, I'm not doing personal readings, and I'm not doing private readings. I do live readings because I enjoy it. It's fun. But I also want to see more coming from my gift than just giving people information. I want to see transformation. I want
Yeah.
to work with people. I want to see growth. I want to see, it's like that's where my fulfillment comes in. And I
Hmm.
think a lot of times when we get into business, even with crocheting, my fingers hurt. So I can't crochet out of business. I can crochet out of love, but I can't do it out of business because it's not worth my pain. And
Right.
people don't want to pay for your pain. Like somebody I read somewhere, this lady said, y'all paying for my light bill, because we got to keep our lights on all day and this and this and
Hmm.
that. Like, you don't realize that even with crocheting, we might go to bed crocheting, but we got to have a light on so that we can see.
Yeah.
I was in there.
So,
Yeah.
She's in there talking. Oh,
so
sorry.
it's,
She's in
so
there
it's
talking.
one of the
I went
things
in there.
we have to always understand one, where our passion lies at, and also be ready to expand and grow. Because although you may start off crocheting a blanket, you may end up teaching how to crochet the blanket. And then it does not take as much energy and time, and it maximizes your profit. Because and that's one of the things where it's like I realized a while ago, I ain't gonna never do enough readings to live the lifestyle I really want to live.
Hmm.
Never. I don't have the time for it.
And it's the energy too. You put so much of your own energy into readings. Like I used to do in-depth readings. I would use at least maybe 10 to 15 decks. Okay. Just to give them more what they expect from me, but it just my energy was just gone, gone, gone. And then when I wanted to take a break, here come all the messages, and this is going on, and that's going on. And I'm like, wait a minute. And you're reading, I told you in A, B, C, and D. This is what you need to do. This is what needs to be done. If you're not going to do what you're told to do, then why bother?
Girl,
And
I
that
have
was too.
a free thread. I can do free questions. I'll do free, and then all of a sudden you want to hop in my inbox. But then if I send you a link to drop a donation, you want to shut up. Energy for energy. Don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that. And I'll be trying not to call people out, but don't do that.
No, that's absolutely right, because all the energy that I put into this is something that I thought I would never do. Thank you, Toy. But this is something I thought I would never, ever, ever do. And Toy was like, look, no matter how many questions I was asking her, and I asked her the questions during free, you did it on your live, right? So I would ask questions, but I would switch the question around. And I would ask the same question, just switch it around. And one day you was like, you know the answer. Consistency. You know the answer. And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, she is giving me this information, but maybe I paid for your time. And then you gave me the same thing. Consistency. So it's like,
we
I'm
even
looking
talked
for something
about
else.
we talked about different things to do. We talked
Yep.
about but it was just like you just got. And now I'm gonna tell you the crazy part about it. I have more people who have gained knowledge from live free readings that have expanded, and I get stuck. Like even with remember we talked about me, starting finish not starting or finishing, but reviving my channel. I ain't did it yet. Like it's one of the things where it's like, why you can't follow your own advice, kid?
Yeah, I'm
We
yeah, I
blinking
get
in
it.
out. It's gonna all
Yeah.
come together when it's time.
It
It's gonna
is.
all come
It
together when
will.
it's time.
It will.
That's
So we got
We right here. What is in store for me in 2021? Will my health be restored? Will my crochet business be successful? You really want them to tell you that? Because I asked so
don't want
many
to go there.
times,
You don't want to
is
go
my
there.
crochet business going to succeed? Is my business going to succeed? And listen, I'm telling you, I'm minimizing my crochet business because Toy told me something different. Do you really want to know?
um I see with the whole health thing, it's
Yeah.
a matter of changing habits and being consistent with making yourself a priority and doing what you need to do for yourself. And like Tawana would say, what's in store for me 2021? That's up to you. What you want?
And you
What
want
you
your crochet business to be successful, take the necessary steps for it to become successful. Write down the pros, write down the cons. How much would it cost you to start this business up? What inventory would you like to have before you really launch your business? Because in order to start a business, you got to have something on hand first.
and most of us have a stash of yarn on hand. But I think the thing about that too is like my yarn right now is in Georgia. And I had a friend come to me and say, hey, can you make these socks in rainbow? And I was like, well, and she said, how much would you charge? I said, well, let me see. So I asked one of my friends and she said she would do it for 55. And I'm like, that's basically buying the yarn.
Excuse me,
So
I'll be right back.
okay. So I'm like, that's basically buying the yarn. So I'm like, I could make it, but you got to go buy all the yarn. Like, it's going to cost you the same amount. I ain't
Yeah.
heard from her since. But I think we also you have to decide what you want your business to look like as well. Because I know one of the things with Shannon, she didn't want to be crocheting blankets and hats and scarves constantly. That wasn't what she wanted to do. She enjoyed graphing, but she didn't want to be doing a whole bunch of custom graphs and doing the nitpicking. So it was like, what do you want to do? And once she decided what she wanted to do, we were able to lay out a plan. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it was something. She was like, "What? I'm gonna do that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why don't you? What's the harm in that?" And you like, "I can't do that." Now here she is booking coaching sessions, about to put some packages together. She gonna have a 6 month mentorship. So y'all better go ahead, save up your little coins and get ready.
I was like, this lady crazy. There's no way in heck I'm gonna be going on no damn YouTube. I'm not gonna be no YouTuber. That's for the kids. Like, I really, honestly, never, ever would thought this. And then it just
I'm
slipped into my hands. It slipped in my hands.
I'm telling you right now, 6 month mentorship. You'll have approximately 10 people. It'll be a monthly paid membership where y'all will meet with her twice a month. I'm laying it out for her right now. She ain't even built it. Y'all gonna have, listen, it'll be a Zoom meeting every 2 weeks. Y'all get to decide what y'all want your business to look like, and she gonna help walk y'all through it.
Wait, hold that. All right now. Okay. This time I'm gonna listen though, because last time I was like, okay, whatever, and it was like I was purposely doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. You have so many people in your community who need your guidance, who need to understand that this is something that's doable for everyone. I can't necessarily say I'm gonna build my business around crocheting. Like that's not what I'm planning on, necessarily gonna do. I love to crochet. Like right now, my thing is grieving and grief and what I'm going through to come out of it. And I can understand where spirit is taking me with this because there's so many of us grieving not just people but also places and things that we've lost in 2021. So a lot of that is just helping people understand how to get past it. And every time I get ready to launch something, bam, here goes something else, and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. So a lot of mine is sitting back and waiting for what's next, but you're ready. You got people sitting in these houses that they had their grandmamas and their aunts and them die and sent them this yarn over to their house and they don't know what to do with it or how to do with it.
Yeah.
Well, who's
Now be
next?
quiet. I ain't gonna for her.
Bridget says, "Would my business prosper?" So we gonna go there with the you got to decide what you want it to look like first. And honestly, get that child over there, whichever way it is, that 6 month mentorship that she about to do, enroll in it.
So she does
And it,
paparazzi.
Paparazzi.
She does paparazzi.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this, and this is my personal thing.
I don't.
Nobody hires you to make you rich, and if you working in the MLM, you're working for someone still. I don't care if it's paparazzi, Tupperware, Avon, tastefully simple. It doesn't matter what it is. MLM is nothing but working for somebody else. You're selling somebody else's product and you're making somebody else's profit because they control how much you make and how you make it.
And how you
So,
make it.
right.
I
So,
told her that.
okay. So
We
I'm
spoke
just gonna say
about
this.
this.
If she wants to have her own business, she needs to sit down and think about what she's passionate about. Something that she will have control of. Not somebody controlling her.
I'm teaching.
hmm You want to be your own boss, not have somebody be your boss.
That 6 month mentorship is going to be at different levels and it's going to be more than $100 a month, but it'll be well worth it.
It is.
hmm Quit selling yourself cheap. You're doing too much. They gonna have 2 meetups with you a month, 2 Zoom meetings with you a month, plus group access to you for $100. It's cheap. I'm gonna tell y'all now. Y'all better enroll before she think about this too hard.
She might change the price.
I don't even have it. You talking about you better enroll now.
I mean, honestly, it's not hard. It'll be like a Facebook group and Zoom meetings. That's it.
Right. That one.
All the research and stuff that I'm doing too. And I graduate this year, in 2 more weeks for I'm a certified purpose coach. So
Yay!
your purpose. That's what I'm coaching.
Go on with your bad self. Coach them
try.
folks.
Right here.
Okay, we got what's the next question?
Hi, will my daughter walk again? Wow. Oh gosh.
That's a hard one.
Yeah. It all, God.
One of the hardest things to do is to deliver a message that where you feel like, and I'll say it this way, where it feels like it's something that you don't want to say to a person, but you don't have a way to fix it. Because I can tell you, no, your business won't prosper, but you need to do this in order to make it prosper. But it's hard to say, baby, I don't feel like your daughter's going to walk again. But if it's one of the things where it's almost like, can we say if you do physical therapy? And it's like a lot of times when we pause, it's because we're asking what else, what else, what else?
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to give me more than enough. Like
And,
I don't want to not give someone hope.
right. And I understand. I'm close to tears right now. I understand that question because Ziva does not walk on her own. Okay. And that's the same damn question I've had for years. Will she walk on her own? So when I saw that, I had to stop. I had to stop and pause because, like you said, you could say the physical therapy and just keep working those muscles, but you don't know the extent. How did she get in this condition?
I was about to ask, was it? It
like
feels
a
like it
car
was a crush.
accident?
That's what I feel like it was a crush. Like her legs were crushed in a car accident or something like that. But it almost feels like it might have happened while she was in utero. Like it happened, like the car accident happened while she was pregnant with her daughter and
Right.
damaged her legs, or were they damaged like while she was being born? It feels traumatic, and the first thing I got was car accident. So, and it's one of the things to where it's like you're asking, how can we fix this? Like, you can't just tell me no, like
that question right there just got me. That is got me because and she said walk again. So
she walked before. She had to have walked before if she said walk again. Even if she took one or two steps, she has walked before.
Question: how old is your daughter? Because I'm hearing a bunch of different ages, so I need to know.
There goes Z coming talking her talk.
What did I tell you? She was in the room. She was screaming. She was having a good old time. That's what. And my other daughter came in too.
She said when she was 11, she got hit with transverse myelitis. It's been 7 years ago.
Oh wow.
She's 17 now. I thought I heard 17.
I can't even answer that. I feel crying. I feel just confusion. You know, why did this happen? How did this happen? Why God? Why? You know, I'm getting all of that.
Had she been had she been in a car accident or something traumatic before she got hit with the transverse myelitis?
I never heard of that. Let me look that up.
I just looked it up too because it's like it's almost one of the things to where it feels like it has something to do with a traumatic experience. And like now I see now the funny thing about it is when I see transverse I think of a Chevy Traverse, the car, which would make sense to me. But now I'm seeing like a fall downstairs. So was it something traumatic that caused it?
It could have been something
People said
hidden
no.
or overlooked because I'm reading what it is, and it could have been something overlooked. It could have been something that, you know, nobody knew about and it just out of nowhere. I don't know how this is, you know, to find this out how um is tested, but like yeah, like with a fall because it's the spinal cord.
Hmm.
Only thing I can say is that she would need to sit down with her daughter's doctor, and have her doctor tell her the actual truth.
So you feel like the doctor is hiding something? Or do you feel like the doctor felt like this was an easy diagnosis?
I feel like the doctor knows the real answer, but doesn't want to um, give her. I'm not going to say false hope, but he just don't know how. He doesn't even know the answer, you know. And she's asking for this one particular answer that she might not get, you know. Um, if she did ask this doctor this question and he couldn't give her an answer because he don't know. I don't know how common this is. I would, if she has a neurologist, if she can, get a second opinion and then take it from there. She said she was diagnosed when she was
11. It's been
11.
7 years.
11 years.
So basically, Lenore, was she ever given a second opinion? It was all over the news. The 2014, a lot of kids got hit with this. Most of them learned how to walk, but not my daughter. Sorry to stump you. I just needed to know you know
I
what?
wonder, but
My
I
mom
wonder
was
if
telling
it's
me
a
something.
vaccine. Like if it was something within the vaccine that they gave her. Like one of the things, like she
The
said,
HPV.
a lot of kids got hit with it, but it says, even what I just read says that one of the things it is an effect to the immune system. It's something with the nerves. It wasn't traumatic. Hold on. It says the
Yeah,
underlying cause of TM is unknown. It says the spinal cord inflammation seen in TM has been associated with various infections, immune system disorders, or damage to nerve fibers by loss of myelin.
right.
So that honestly, it makes me wonder if it was a vaccine. If a lot of kids got hit with it, like, and I
I was
know people
thinking the HPV vaccine because if that's the age that you would normally get that one, the HPV.
6 years ago, 6 years ago, she would have been 12. So that would have been around the time, and that's about when it came out, about that many years ago.
Hmm.
I wonder if there is something associated with the other kids that got hit with it too, as far as that vaccine. And then if you could find out even the lot number, because it has to be cataloged somewhere.
Right.
Like if it was a bad batch of the vaccine or something that caused it.
Because they starting a new one out as well.
Wow. Is she doing any type of physical therapy?
She said her husband. Oh, this lady says my husband had transverse myelitis. He willed himself to walk, but I have a niece who is in a wheelchair from it. His doctor told him that it could have been something as simple as a cold. Let me
Yeah,
see
because
about this.
I'm looking at the it says 4 classic symptoms and weakness.
Yeah, I don't see the rest of it.
Yeah, pain and discomfort. So
Cause the
she
immune system to go
felt like
haywire.
she was coming down with a cold or something or the flu
Hmm.
and it turns out to be this. But so many things have the same symptoms. So it could have mimicked a cold or a flu. It could have mimicked meningitis.
I could see, but I could see one person getting it or two people getting it. But when you have a bunch of kids around the same age that
Mm-hmm.
has it, then there has to be a commonality in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm so
I never
sorry.
knew about that, Lenore.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
neither did I. And she said she's 17 now? 18?
Yeah. Yeah. I never knew about that.
I
But
feel also need to take her daughter to counseling because there's a lot that's going on within her daughter as well. And she's really not expressing it. You know, I feel like there is depression, big time. And she doesn't feel comfortable feeling discomfort. It could be she's not comfortable with telling her mother how she feels, what's going on in her head. But definitely, I would take her to counseling and work from there. I'm getting some other things, but I just don't want to go there, because that, like, to me, that's grim, and I don't want grim in this particular situation. You
Part of
know.
her part of the issue is that she still has the normal 17-year-old mind, and she wants to do the normal 17-year-old things, and it's hard for her not to be able to do them. And she sees already how much her mother does, and she won't express that, so she's holding it in and repressing it, and it's like a cycle that goes on within you, like anxiety almost, but depression builds up even bigger. So
Which leads to suicidal thoughts, and
mhm.
that's what I was avoiding to say, but I have to say it. You know,
Well, she says she's happy-go-lucky girl. We are very, very close since this all started. And one of the things I think that a lot of people miss is that that's how we mask depression,
yes,
especially for those we care about.
yes,
We will be happy-go-lucky with
Yep.
you, and we're gonna make sure that you don't see it. There's
Yep.
times that I will not cry because I don't want to affect my son or his girlfriend. I don't want them to feel bad because I feel bad. So we suck it up and deal with it. And it's not a matter of you not being able to be there, but just as well as she needs counseling, you may need to talk to someone as well, because it's a heavy burden as a parent to not, you miss out on the things that you wanted for your kids. We all have an idea of what we want for our child, and watch them grow up and watch them become and watch them do. And when something takes that away, it's something we
it's
grieve. It's
shattering.
right. It's almost like a death per se. And then also being her caregiver, it's a lot of responsibility. And as much as we can say we don't mind, we'll do it for our child, it
Mhm.
still is heavy. And we need to have a place where we can say, F this SHIT. I
Mm,
don't like it. I don't want to do it. And feel safe enough with saying that and not get judged. Just as well as she want to be able to say, I want to go to prom. I want a boyfriend. I want to hang out. I want to go with my friends. I want to do this and this and that, and not have to worry about making you feel bad as a parent because she's not per se able to do it the way everybody else can. And let's
right.
just say kids are cruel and they
Yes.
go for what's easy. And so even if she has friends, it's hard to say, come on, I'm gonna take you out, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that, because it's a lot of work. And as a mother, you don't want to trust them with your baby.
I agree. I agree. And I sympathize with her because I know what it's like to be the caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
I know the stress. There are times that, you know, when she was first diagnosed, and I try to keep, masking that depression, masking, just you're wearing a different mask. You're
Mm-hmm.
just wearing a mask. That's all you're doing. And then at night, go to bed and I freaking cry. You know, it's stressful. It is stressful, and I understand where she's coming from. I really do. You know, and I all I could do is pray for her and her daughter to get the mental health help that they both need, because like I said, her daughter is holding in a lot. And you're right, Toy. She is not gonna show it in front of her mother. For
And I
all
think
we
like
know,
she's
once she goes to bed, she could be bawling her eyes out, and I feel that. They both are, because it's stressful on both of them. You know, I it's just, oh gosh.
it's is she said, oh, I see it when she's feeling bad, I know. And she said she's done that and has a boyfriend too. And I think, it's one of the things to where it's like us saying this is not condemnation or judgment. It is a suggestion of the things that you may not see. And I'll say it like there's three sides to every story. There's your side, her side, and the truth. And in this case is your perspective, her perspective in reality. And one of the things about it is honestly, I think all of us need to have counseling ongoing so that, we can just kind of have somebody to check in with as we go through life. And when we have extra things on us, it it's a lot, and it's like we can justify or click off, check off some things that are going on and still miss some things that we don't even notice.
Right. And it's
So,
not, and don't be ashamed of going for help and asking for help, because let me tell you, I've been seeing a therapist for over a year. It does get like that.
heck, I think we all should get one in this new stimulus package with 2020 the way it's been. We should get a therapist and a check.
I
I think
know, right?
everybody need an SSI check after this. And Lord forbid you actually had COVID. Come on now. I
Jeez.
mean, I think
Yeah.
it's crazy even thinking about that. Like, I'm so grateful. Remember when I lost my sense of taste and smell in March? Like, I lost it, and that was the only symptoms I ever had. I've never gotten diagnosed with it, but I'm grateful. Like, sheesh. I know friends who basically was saying they were crawling on the floor trying to get to the bathroom and couldn't breathe.
Wow. Yeah, Shauna
Yeah.
was saying how bad she was, and it was just terrible, terrible.
So I
Yeah.
think this year, if nothing else, this year has taught us to be humble. Sit
Yeah.
Very,
down. Be
very, very,
humble.
Be
very.
humble, be grateful, and
Mhm.
keep in mind tomorrow is not promised to anyone.
No, not at all.
And and
No.
and to live life to the fullest the best way we can,
Right,
you know,
right.
is this is not the time for drama. This is not the time for bullshit. Just everybody right about now, technically everybody's in the same boat. And we just
Yeah.
have to be there for one another as much as we can, you know, as well as for ourselves. Cause I tell you, half the time when my therapist call, I turn the tables. I turn the tables on him.
How you do that?
How I do it,
Yeah. How you turn the tables?
you know, so I like he'll ask me how I'm doing. I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'm doing good. So how's working from home, or or is
Oh, so
is
you
it
asking?
barking, and I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
what's going on with the dogs, and he opens up, and he just, and that's what
Wow.
they need. Therapists need therapists. It's a freaking cycle. We need therapists, and our therapists need therapists,
Yeah.
because working from home, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You
So,
know.
if there's anyone else who have a question, you guys ask the question. Just put the question marks on the front and the back so that we'll know. And if you donations are in the description. If you want to send a donation, your question goes priority. Priority. Yeah. I know the last time you were on Toy, you had mentioned someone's name, Dolores, and I'm like, there's no Dolores or Doris nowhere in here. I don't know. I'm like, ain't no Dolores. You kept saying, is there a Dolores or Doris? And the lady Cheryl came out and she was like, that's my middle name. Like, how you know my middle name? And you were like, your mom keeps saying it. And then I come to find out that was what her mother called her. Called her
Wow.
door. Yeah. Yeah, her mother
Wow.
just kept saying it over and over and over again. Not her name, but her middle name.
Middle name.
That's what she called her. And she just
Mm.
kept, she didn't even ask a question. That's the crazy thing. Cheryl wasn't asking a question, but her
She
mother
was,
wanted her to.
that is hilarious. I have one of my, and I think you met Angela before. Angela's like, "Oh my God, you're such a great medium," and I'm like, "What? I just say what I hear. Like, I just tell you what I see. I don't even think of it as doing mediumship. It's crazy sometimes."
Yes, I do agree. I do agree. And there's sometimes,
Now,
you know, you have to say, guys, please, give me a break. Just give me an hour. Give me a day. Better yet, give me a year.
I know, like for me, one of the things is hard when I can touch everybody else's loved ones, but I don't hear from my own.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Like
wow.
my cousin died. My cousin was like a brother died in September of last year,
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
I ain't heard from him yet. My
And you
mother died.
actually like try, like you ask, and it doesn't happen.
No, no.
I
Well,
always
Angela was there.
I always learn, through my journey that if you can't connect with somebody, it's that they don't want to come forth, and you have to
Um,
respect that. Now there are times, you know, instead of my son doing what he's supposed to be doing, he's too busy finding ways of making me laugh. His twin brother Anthony sent us a TikTok, and the name of the user Michael, and it was a funny ass TikTok. Had to do something.
Oh, so wait, he's indirectly showing you the fun. Oh,
Mhm.
wow. And he
It
passed
was
earlier this year, right? It was
yes,
earlier.
in May. In May.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
There was another one that Anthony shared the other day about Zima. You really are trying it, little girl. Um,
Ziva on it
where
today.
this lady said, no lie, y'all. Like my son, my husband is supposed to be watching our son Michael, and she opened the door, and her baby is strapped to the father, and the father is, playing the video game. But the baby's name is Michael, and that was my son's name.
Hmm.
Wow.
So it's the craziest things, and I'm like, could you please go do what you're supposed to do? I'll be, I'll be all
Stop
right.
being a comedian.
And you know
Maybe
what?
that's what he's supposed to be doing. What if that's what he's supposed to be doing?
Healing. I want him to heal. I want him to, you know,
Tawana,
understand.
Tawana, that ain't your business. That ain't your business what he doing. Your business is to mind your business and to be down here doing what you supposed to be doing. You can't tell him what to do, girl. Let go of control. Let that man do what he gonna do. Cause once he became a spirit, he done healed already. What you mean? He's supposed to be healing. He done. He done accomplished that goal. Poof, it's done. So now you telling him to go do something he done already done. What's to that night? Instead of just enjoying how your son show up.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you. Oh
You
gosh.
can't you can't even receive that woman. Get over yourself.
Like, comedy show. And he puts his little 2 cents in. He really does.
Get over yourself.
So.
Always want to tell everybody what to do.
You know what? Yes. Yes. And I think that was another part of why I went on hiatus from readings,
Hmm.
because there were times I'm giving a reading and I tell this person, look, you guys are saying A, B, and C. Then I stop dead in my tracks. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing that too, right? Oh, okay, I got it. I got it. I was so busy giving messages to others that I wasn't receiving the messages for myself. And it does get like that, you know. And You know, the show NCIS, right? You know how Gibbs always smacked Tony in the back of his head. I was getting a lot of those, a lot of those.
But I
And
think a lot of times we are set down in order for us to get to a place where we can serve. Because, I think people don't realize we go through shit too. A lot of it. And sometimes we go through more. Like, one of the reasons why I can't do readings right now is when somebody, and this is crazy, when they have decided they're going to book with me, it's almost like they're instantly connected and I start receiving things, or people show up, or I get smells, or I get visions. It can be weeks. It can be time before they even have the money where they haven't even been charged yet and I'm already receiving. So it can be draining. You don't even know what this is for, where it's coming from. I can be in one read and say, "Hey, does this mean anything to you?" And people be like, "No." Like, okay, good. That's for somebody else. Put that on the shelf. But when you have a lot of things in your life that you need to take care of, you can't be bombarded with other people's stuff.
yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, these are the times where we really need people to hold space for us. I mean, I just went through a major, I don't want to say ordeal, but kind of ordeal. Yeah. And I was talking to Angela. She over there. Hey, Angela. And she was like, "Yeah, I was feeling like this the other day and I feel like that." And she literally was standing in the gap for me. It's like she blocked some things that would have got to me and they went to her. And she took them on so that I could get in a position to where I could heal. Yeah. That standing in the
Wow.
gap that they talk about in church, literally standing in the gap. Like
Wow.
somebody literally was a shield. And we don't realize how often, spiritually, where we're standing in the gap for people who are coming to us, not just to deliver messages, but also to be able to receive them because they don't want to hear that their daughter's not going to walk again. They don't want to accept it. They don't want to hear that their son has HIV. They don't want to hear that their child was raped or molested by their boyfriend that they don't want to let go of.
Right.
Like, and so we get tasked with a lot of the hard messages and the hard truths that people aren't ready to accept. And we have to stand in the gap and deliver those messages. So in order for us to be able to do it, one, we have to experience it in order to explain it. But then two, we have to be strong enough to even have recovered from it to tell you how you can come back from it as well.
Right.
Because I promise you, I don't know anybody who has any type of gifting, has picked up a card, a pendulum, has picked up some oils or anything else that ain't been through some real shit in life.
Yeah. And was getting me that certain clients, well, this one particular client, what happened with her triggered my trauma.
Hmm.
And I avoided it, put it to the side, didn't want to hear it, didn't want to deal with it. But when God says it's time for you to deal with this, it's time for you to deal with it.
Hmm.
Stop running. People come across, people come in our lives for a reason, you know, to trigger you, to give you a piece of advice, anything. You may see that person again and you may not. But whatever reason they were there, they crossed your path, it was for a reason. And this one particular person, she triggered me so much that I had no other choice but to face it again. Because the
Wow.
first time I was like, yeah, I went through that. Nope, not, can't do it. Can't do it. But when God says, no, it's time. It's time. You gotta let the trauma go. You have to let it go. You have that, and that's part of growing.
Hmm.
Shanti, it all depends. How do you feel about it?
You just threw the question right back at her.
Yeah. How
I,
do you feel
I,
about it? Do
I
you
feel like
feel connected to use it again? You know, is it calling you? What are you experiencing where you feel that you starting to question?
what I get is that the reason why she don't feel connected is because she has not been consistent with her meditation and prayer practice. And because of that, she doesn't feel connected, and she actually kind of like pushed it to the side. Um she got to the point where she was dependent on the pendulum more than she was dependent on spirit.
Mm.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that because
It's
when I
almost like making it an idol.
yeah, yeah, and when you use your pendulum, you want a certain answer. You want a yes to a no question, and vice versa, and that's not going to happen.
She said, I haven't since I was very young. It's been many, many, many years. And I was put off by it because of my mother. She would use it in a way that she didn't like very much. She said her mother would use it in a way she didn't like very much.
Oh
You
wow.
know, the thing about that too is people get dependent on tools. Um and she said she would use it all the time. She would tell me to go use it and I stopped. Yeah, it so that was the dependency where it was
Yeah, instead of
um
relying on her own intuition and her
right.
own thought processes, she would use the pendulum. Wow.
So I mean in that it's one of the things you have to learn from it. I say start with a practice of meditation and journaling, and listening and hearing from spirit, and then decide if you want to use a pendulum. I mean, it's just like with cards. I can't pick up a deck of cards and read them for crap. I can't. I didn't try. I done bought cute tarot cards. I done bought, and I can read them, and I'll read a card, and I ain't gonna tell you what the book say. It'll be accurate, but it's not book tarot. And the
Yeah,
thing
I don't
about
I
it,
don't like I don't like the book because it all depends. Every person is different. A person's energy is different. So you can't go by the book each and every time. It is non applicable.
yeah. So for me, cards don't work. Some people need them. I have a pendulum, and I love my pendulum. I don't even know where it's at right now. It's back there. Um, like I'll pull it out and use it for fun more than I will as a dependency.
Hmm.
But like starting off, one of my first teachers was like, put away the cards, put away this, put away that, put away this, and depend on what you hear first.
Can
So
I
is
ask
it?
what is a pendulum?
Oh, a pendulum can be anything that you can weigh that will move back and forth. And you
Right.
can use energy to move it back and forth. So basically you just allow it to hang and swing. And it'll go like mine for yes is a circle and no is back and forth. So
Oh.
and everybody's is different, but I would say attune the pendulum to you. And so the way spirit will speak through the pendulum, like I'll get a yes or a no or maybe. Um, it'll go clockwise or counterclockwise. It'll go forward and backwards or back. And it's weird because like sometimes it'll go like this, but like this doesn't mean anything to me. And like,
It all
but you
depends on
can
the person
ask
that's
it.
using it.
Right. And you can ask the pendulum like what's yes, what's no. Um like that. She said, I use my ring in the strand of my hair. Yeah, you can do that. Like I used to use one of my necklaces. I had a butterfly on my necklace and I just would use my necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's kind of weighted that can hang and it'll move.
Interesting. Never in my life. Never in my
You want me
life.
to hold on, I'll grab mine. Hold on.
Yeah, because I can't find
I don't know
mine.
what's behind me. I don't know how much of a mess is
Never,
back here,
ever,
so
ever, ever in my life. I think I like saw something like that for like a lady did that for like I think her daughter was pregnant and she wanted to see if the baby was a boy or a girl. That I saw, but
yes,
not
now that's old school. Where is
yeah.
my pendulum? I
Yeah,
just had it
and then we
earlier
use
today.
thread and a needle.
Yep. And
Yeah, I
you
saw
hold it over the
something like
belly.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Where is my pendulum? I don't even see it, y'all. I don't
I
even know.
get it now. I understand what you mean now. So
Mine is cute.
I wouldn't use anything like that. But you want to know something? I don't know
Here it
why.
is.
I think oh, you have it in a box.
Yeah, I my son bought it for me recently. I've had this is might be my first official pendulum.
Oh, that is so pretty.
And it's like all seven of the chakra colors.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, that
wow.
is pretty. I like that. My daughter, she got me an amethyst one, an
Yeah.
amethyst pyramid.
Angela got big, huge ones with like big rocks and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh
damn.
wow.
But yeah, mine is just is
That is so cute. I like
I
that.
also one of the things that I was taught to do was to open my third eye with it by just holding it over your head and just letting it spin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it can open. It's it's used for a couple of things. You can use it to clear your chakras.
Yeah. Clear your
Not
You
shop.
can
necessarily.
use it to clear your chakras. You can use it. Yeah, trying to like I don't know about all that. Which one of the boys you got over there?
Who me?
Yeah, you. You was just talking to somebody.
Oh, that's security. That's my man.
That's security.
Oh, hey, security.
That's security.
Yeah. So you can use a pendulum for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them to clear your energy. Like if you feel like you can use them for attunements, I hear. But yeah, you can use them to clear like your chakras and
I see. I'm not good at stuff like that. I believe that I am very intuitive, but I always second guess myself. And I think I even came to you at one point in time to tell you, like, out of the blue, I could have sworn I heard my like a guardian angel. And she said
everything.
her name and everything. And I'm like, what is going on with me? I'm going crazy. But it was something I was trying to get closer to me and trying to, because I never knew how to meditate. I never knew how to do none of that. So I was trying earlier this year, actually. And I'm glad I did all of those things because that's how this year I needed to do it to prepare for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because this year would have been hell for me if I wasn't prepared.
Right. Right.
And I was
Right.
prepared. And even though a lot of people had a hard time this year, I really did not. It was rocky, but I did not have a hard time this year.
Even with going through COVID.
Even with going through COVID. COVID was bad, but I went through cancer. I went through homelessness. Like I went through so much. COVID was bad, but come on now. I can keep on going. Like take a liquid and keep on ticking. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm not even that Miss Lona didn't phase me.
There you go. Because you're a fighter. You always
I
have been a
am.
fighter. You got
But
you.
it got to the point where I kept saying, why am I like even though I'm a fighter, I didn't want to fight anymore. I'm like, I just don't want to fight anymore. And it got to the point where as soon as I said that, I didn't have to.
Release it.
That's all I had to say. And then I didn't have to fight anymore. And then all of that bad energy just started going away. But you know what? I do want to say, I want to say that a lot of people, when they want to talk to you guys, they are automatically have in their mind, I want to know what 21 is going to be. And I want to know, is my business is going to succeed? And is this going to happen? And that's going to happen. Because I did it myself. But what we have to also realize is we control our destiny. So no matter what you guys say, you were right, both of you. You were right, but it didn't happen overnight. It took me, Tawana and Toy, for what you guys told me. It took 3 years. 3 years for me to say, I need to just do this. It took 3 years. It may not seem like that, but it did.
Wow.
So we say, oh, what they said is not true, or what they say, you have to not just listen, you have to do. Your actions have to follow you. And that's what I think a lot of people have a problem with. They're not moving with not just with what you say, they have to go according to their actions as well. And that's what I did. Once I said I was going to do this business, I had to literally do it. And all I kept hearing was consistency. And once consistency happened, that's when this happened. Like, I swear to you, I kept saying, am I going to be financially stable? You were like, well, you know what you need to do. That's all I kept hearing. Like, you know what you need to do. And it happened. Like, I'm not rich. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I was. If I want right now, this very second, to go get my hair and nails and everything done, I could. But back then I couldn't do that. Back then I was walking around with sneakers with holes in my sneakers and making sure my kids were good and worrying about if we was gonna have food. I don't have to worry about that no more. And I just listened. So for everyone else, if you're gonna ask the question, don't just ask the question and listen and don't do nothing. You need to follow and you need to show action and you need to walk that walk. And I'm telling you, it will work. I guarantee you, I swear it will work. Because I'm where I'm at now, where I never ever thought I would be. Never. Never. I'm so blessed.
I know for me, I can tell you, I have a reading that I bought. Yes, I get readings too. But I had a reading that I got in December of 2018 for the first quarter of 2019. And in that reading, she told me some things that are just happening now. And oftentimes we don't understand how many pieces have to move in order for certain things to line up. And at first I was like, I don't know what she's talking about. Then the next year in December, I was like, oh, I get it. And part of it wasn't that she was wrong. Part of it was me identifying my cycle and what I'm doing. And the thing that I can say about readings that I think is wonderful and great is that they are for information in order for us, they're information for navigation. That's what I'm going to say.
Information for navigation.
They're information so that if we see we're going down road B and we're going to get to F, but we really going to get to C, we can make a U-turn. We can make an adjustment. We can do things a little differently. Like even now, I'm seeing this same reading I had in 2018 come back around, and this time I'm saying, what can I do different for me, for my success, for what I truly want in life? Because if I want something, and every time people tell Spirit say you can have whatever you want. Spirit say you can do this and this and that. Spirit say you're supported. You got this, you got that. And the only reason I don't have the things that I want is because my mind is limited as to where I'm at. You know what I mean? I limit myself according to what I'm going to do. We have to get out of our own way a lot of times. Okay, so Mariana says, how do you know if your intuition is increasing? I can't tell if It's that or I'm going crazy. I didn't want to say anything, but I've been getting in tune more with my spiritual side. For instance, my chest started hurting the moment I got on this live, and I've been on nonstop shaking, heart pounding to the point where I feel like I'm about to throw up. It's even hard to type this question. A lot of times, that is how spirit moves within you, and it's the energy within you, and you have to learn how to express it as well as ground yourself. Because a lot of times, what you'll see, like I've noticed, Tawana, she'll do it. She'll just start rocking.
And you
She'll
do
start
this.
rocking.
And you
And
do
I
this.
pull my hair.
And
I
you do
pull my
that.
hair. Yep.
Yep.
I pull my hair. And and oftentimes a lot of it is energy that's going through us, and we have to get it out. Um, you have to learn. I don't want to say you're Claire, but you have to learn how spirit speaks through you. For me, I use all of my senses, my whole body. I smell, I see, I hear, I taste. Um, I feel. Just like when you say you felt your heart, your chest was hurting. It was anxiety within you because you was afraid of what we might say to make you feel even more crazy. You're not crazy. As my first teacher would say, you're not crazy, you're just psychic. And for me, it's one of the things to where it's like it's part of embracing who you are. And I think the best way, Twana, you on mute still? I think one of the best ways to know that your intuition is increasing is to start to journal and to also start to be a little more obedient to what you hear. And one of the things that I started to live by in the beginning was, if it doesn't kill me, it can't hurt. So even if spirit tells me to do something crazy like cross the street, go over here, go over there, if it doesn't kill me, it can't hurt. Why not try it? Trust it and try it. And the more that you trust it, the more that you will see. I mean, like, even if we go biblically, the Bible says, trust and see that the Lord is good and something. So, therefore, it's almost like some things we have to trust in order to learn. And the strong, it's like building your muscles. The more you do it, the stronger you get. The stronger you get, the easier it gets. And it's like you'll get better with the small instructions, and you get bigger instructions, then you may get messages and this and this and that. All right, Tawana, go ahead. I know you got something to say.
I had muted the mic because Ziva's going off on over here. I forgot what the heck I was going to say, but just no, you're not going crazy. It does seem like that. It's something like smelling a stew and nobody's around cooking.
Girl, I was
Ziva.
smelling stinky feet. Stinky feet I was smelling, and cigarette smoke, and just weird things. One reading I had, I could see the cigarette marks on the windowsill. Literally see them. 2 weeks later, they were not there.
Wow. And it's I'm not gonna say it's crazy, but it's just amazing how spirit communicate, how they let us know that they're around. I do agree with the Claires. I think her strongest one might be her Claire audience. Might become her strongest one, because you need to hear what they're saying. Definitely meditate. Definitely. Oh gosh, I can't even think now.
But okay, I'm gonna ask her this while you try to settle yourself.
I can't do it.
I see a black cat that shows up around her often, and it's one of them things to where she'll be like, "Did I see that? Did I?" And it's one of those things where it feels like it's a spirit guide trying to get your attention just to show you that you see. She said, yes, I would smell food and thought my mom was cooking something, but she was not. My head has been pounding and hearing beeping noise. Yeah, your ears will ring. Your ears will ring a lot. There's times where my ears get so clogged I can't hear anything. And I just have to kind of sit down because it's almost like having swimmer's ear. Like when
Hmm.
after you've been in the pool and your ears just clogged up.
And if it happens, if the ear ringing happens, excuse me, if it happens while you sleep, just say, please, not now. I'm trying to rest. That's what I say. And then the ringing will stop. Or if it's an important message, just um speak to my soul while I'm asleep. And then my body and my subconscious it'll come out of my subconscious and just work its way out. Because getting that ringing while you sleep, no, that is not fun. It is
And
not
keep a journal by your bed so you can write your dreams down. And when you wake up, just start journaling. Um, and that's really where you start.
and pay attention to um any animals that just come up to you out of the blue, and look up what that animal totem means, because like there are times I don't see deer at all. When I do see them, it's like 4 and 5 at a time. One time there was 8 in front of the building. I went and looked it up.
We don't let them hold.
No, no, no.
I
I
turned the
don't.
oven off.
That's one of
No.
the things that attracted me to Angela. Angela would talk to animals. Like she was talking about talking to the deers to keep them from running out in front of the car. Like I will do that now because they'll just show up and I'll be like, look, I need you to go back. I don't need you to run in front of this car. But
Let me tell you, the deer over where I'm at are so smart that they will stop, look both ways, then cross.
hmm
Okay? Yes. Yes. There was another time,
Tell
like,
mice.
what you say?
Tell mice to get out.
Lord Jesus, girl, we don't even want to talk about that. Okay, so my mom's house, there's 2 empty fields now. And when we cleaned it out, we found a dead mouse. Then a couple weeks later, there was a dead rat in the basement. And then my niece went over one day and she was like, is something in here stinking? Yada, yada, yada. And the neighbors had been feeding this stray cat, talking about they didn't want mice. I'm like, but y'all running them into my house. So I went over the next day. I didn't smell anything. I'm like, look, y'all gonna have to go. I can't handle that. I had the exterminator come. He couldn't find nowhere they was coming in at. But then all of child, listen, I can't handle it. I don't need mice, rats, roaches, none of that garbage. No. And I don't care what purpose they say. Sir, not in my world. If they can't pay rent, they can't stay. Ain't no rent they can pay. No, I pass. There's not a price. No.
food.
I don't do critters
Only
well.
the food.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my.
do I do okay with kids. Critters and
Not the little critter. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't. I can't do it.
and look, we had to talk about them girls earlier today. That little girl, that little baby girl got me today.
Excuse me, 1 minute, guys.
Okay.
Oh God.
But I mean,
And that said, what's the meaning of mice? I
huh?
the meaning is that they need to stay outside.
What do you mean? What's the meeting? They
I
don't need
guess
to be around.
the total
They
meaning of
nasty. That's the meaning.
let's look them up real quick.
Why?
Why not? Let's see what folks have said.
Nasty.
hmm I ain't gonna find no joy in it. None. They don't have to come in. I don't. If you told me that the spiritual meaning of mice was good luck, I don't need it.
You'd rather not have
When
good
mice
luck. I
come,
don't blame
right?
you. I'd
It
rather not either.
right. It says when mice come invade your home or business, it does not mean that you've done anything wrong. They are scavengers. They find food and shelter wherever they can. So they bums. That's what it means. They bums. They all using as bums. That's what a mouse is. So when you dreaming about mice, you dreaming about bums. No. Hold on. The mouse spirit. Oh gosh. The mouse spirit animal signifies a time when you need to take a closer look at your life and scrutinize the details that you may have missed. Make sure you ain't a bum.
You're a mess.
The mouse symbolism is being presented to you. It means that there are people in your area of life which you have overlooked and taken for granted, and that this is the time to right your wrongs. You've been a bum. You've been taking advantage of people. You've been a scavenger. Yes, that's what it means.
And you got to go. You got to go.
Unlike the lion meaning, the meaning of the mouse urges you to be conscious of the consequences of your actions. Examine everything and think about how this seemingly small thing can affect your life and the people around you. Because I promise you, you bring a mouse to my house, I'm kicking you out.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because you a bum and you're a scavenger.
I can't believe you looked that up.
I love when spirit gives me things, but it's kind of fun when you look it up and it actually confirms it. Because I mean, if you telling me that the meaning of it is that you need to assess how you may have taken advantage of people, you was being a bum. You was being a bum. It's okay. We all have bum moments. We all be bums at
Yeah,
times.
yeah, you're right.
She said, I only asked because Shanna said mice. Well, now we all know if you dreaming about mice, you dreaming about a bum.
Oh, bum. And we don't let them hold.
We don't love them hoes. Bum. Y'all
Oh,
can't take me
man.
out in public. Look, and it's, it's just water. It's just water. It's no alcohol. I'm not drunk. I'm not high. This is just who I am.
The way 2020 has been going, we all need a drink.
I wish I could. All my coping mechanisms is gone. I'm jealous. I can't drink anymore. That's her like second or third glass. You ain't seen that glass come back and forth. That glass has been
I
refilled
keep
a
seeing
few
her.
times, girl.
I'm like, dang. She's been sipping that drink for a long time.
Security has been keeping that glass right.
Oh,
Come on, security.
oh man.
Uh,
Nothing beats a nice cold glass of something.
it was those dailies. It's a Capri Sun. It's one of them adult Capri Suns. That's all.
There you
That's
go.
all.
It don't matter. Listen, however you do it, baby. I used to buy buckets. These margarita buckets from Tastefully Simple. They're so good. You
I
just
never heard
mix
of
the
that.
tequila. You mix the tequila and water in them and put them in the freezer, and then you just scoop them out like ice cream, and they come out in slushies.
Oh, I never heard of that. That's
It's so
cool.
good. I don't even know if they sell them anymore. If I'll find out and see. They
I
were
just
so
want
good.
tequila, that's all.
All right. Any more questions? Because it's
We've been on
9:15,
here for
so
2 hours. Security,
Yeah.
security time.
it's security time.
It's security time, girl.
Listen.
Yeah. And Z was sitting here, she's been yapping away and she's having a good old time over here.
hmm And look, I
I
think I need to get
slept
hungry.
all day because I had a bad toothache. I had a real bad
Oh,
toothache.
man.
But because
It's
of COVID, huh?
it's something going on with teeth because I done had a tooth bothering me too. last week.
Yeah, right up here, and my tooth cracked earlier today. So now that big old hole.
Mm.
Well, I didn't have to go to the dentist. I said I had a temperature and they automatically thought that I was exposed to COVID. But I just said, okay, all right, just send it to the pharmacy. Okay, that's
It
all
was up
right.
to you anyway.
I already knew I had the temperature, the fever because I have RA. So when I get a infection, my RA flares up. So I already knew that was the reason why. But I just let them think what they want to think.
And that's crazy because now say if it was something dire, okay, and you mentioned a fever. Oh no. But how would you know? How would you know? Just because everybody gets a fever, you know? And there's so many reasons why a person gets a fever, and it not always have to deal with COVID. We got fevers before COVID. Come on.
I actually didn't when the well, I had a temperature, but it was only like an hour and then that's it. So you really can't tell with the fever. You really can't.
That's
So
right.
I mean they could check it,
COVID.
but it doesn't mean you don't have it.
Mm-mm.
COVID ain't the only illness that there is in the world right now, and that's the thing I think people forget about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything is around
Exactly.
COVID, and it's not right just to focus on this one thing. There's other illnesses, there's other, passings. It's gotten to the point where okay, enough is enough. Enough
Only
is
one heart not beat said, what is this show about?
So let's see. We all crochet. It's about crocheting and yarn.
uh-huh.
Um, we commune with spirit, so it's about that.
Uh-huh. We
We
let
tell
everybody
people
know, that 2020 is what they bring to the table. I
it's
mean,
about
2021.
And
everything
security
and
keeps
nothing.
bringing me drinks.
It seems like it's just three of us hanging out here.
Yep.
So
Well,
the original reason why this is because we want to know certain things, and these young ladies are able to help us with that. So we have Toy, who's the psychic chick, and Tawana, who is who does tarot readings. You ask the questions, they answer them, and that's what the whole entire video was about.
this, but generally, your channel is about everything about you, right? It's not just about crocheting. It's not just about business. It's about all of your
My
stuff, right?
channel is about learning how to do a graph gang and learning how to have a business, learning how my podcast is the reason why I started doing a lot of this, like the psychic and stuff, is because I entered you guys into it. How I came from have been on welfare and how I came from having this illness, and because that's what I keep getting, the excuses of people saying I can't have a business because I can't do this, because when in reality I had all of that plus more. I had breast cancer. You can't tell me I got cancer, I can't do it. I was homeless. You can't say I was homeless and I can't do it. I
Mhm.
was in a toxic relationship. So you can't say, oh, I'm in this bad relationship. I'm in this bad, I'm married, and you can't say that because I've been there and I've done it. So that's what my podcast is for. And that's what I talk about. And I put things out on the table because I want people to basically, I give you the tools to do your business. And I thought it would be excellent for the ladies who helped me and told me what I needed to do. And I just took what they said and ran with it like 3 years later, but I did.
Right.
You was running the whole time. The thing
I
about it, I
didn't
think,
know though.
right, but you were still taking the steps. Even if it was a little step at a time, you were still taking the steps.
Not really, really. I was still like, you kept saying consistency, and I would do something like 3 months and then stop.
But life happened.
Yeah.
I was just lazy.
Oh, okay. Long as you know.
I was just
Okay.
lazy.
Right. I see 2 questions, one by Nat and one by Dashia. Okay.
Tisha.
Nat, is it like in your hands and your fingers? Like coming, like going up and down your arm?
Emotional. Is it
Emotional
more
or
emotional?
physical? Because I'm getting physical.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm hearing head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. So for me, that says it's like her extremities, is
Yeah.
her fingertips, her toes, and that kind of, and then I get this a pinched nerve. Like she may have been. It feels like she had a job that was sedentary, where she sat at a desk a lot, and she got a
Doing
pinched
a lot
nerve.
of typing,
Yeah,
doing the same motion over and over and over again, like corporal tunnel.
yeah. It does. It feels like a pinched nerve for the physical part.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally, she said emotional and in my arms.
All right, in her
No,
arm, because my hand started hurting.
I
So
didn't think.
I would, for that, I will go to a doctor and get an EMG or whatever test, and and get treated for that, because um it could be a sign, a warning sign. Your body is telling you something, so definitely go and check yourself out.
She said no. I was a CNA.
Well, CNAs, they do a lot of writing, do a lot of typing.
Right now, she home, not doing absolutely anything but getting on my
Mhm.
nerves sometimes. So
I bet she doing a lot of sitting, ain't she? I bet you she ain't up moving around. I bet you she went from standing up, walking around, dealing with folks all day to sitting down. And even as a CNA, she sat down with a lot of them patients and talked.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's yeah. Your arms, I would definitely go and get that checked out, because that's like, to me, I take that as a warning sign. My body is telling me something that needs to be checked. Um,
Okay, so was nervous to ask, but will these medical issues I had lately linger or will I be done with it soon?
I'm hearing a lot of self care. Um,
I hear. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
um, yeah. When it comes to medical issues, there's so many things, and I always recommend. Look, we're not doctors. You have to go to a doctor, because we could say one thing and it could be something else. We could say change your diet, exercise more, but it could be something more in depth, you know. Um, so that's what I get when I see questions or I'm asked questions about medical health. And I used to be able to tell a person what's wrong with them, but that part of me I shut down, because a friend of mine, her mother passed, and I felt her mother pass away, transition, and all of that. So from that point on, I just stay away from that area. But like I told Nat, whatever it is going on in your body is giving you a message. It's telling you something. Seek medical attention. Toy?
And what I get is the little white cheerleader is going, be consistent, be consistent. Because a lot of what's happening is you're going to the doctor, you start treatment, and then you stop. Or you don't feel like going. So you feel like this appointment isn't that important, so you don't go. You have to be
You have
consistent
to
with
go
your
to your
medical care.
appointments.
Yep.
You have
That
to go to the appointment.
be consistent. Be consistent.
Disha, you better listen to that
Yes,
girl
ma'am.
because I'm telling you.
Huh? Oh, thank you. My son is feeding me.
Oh,
Okay. I'll be out in a little while, I'm sure.
yeah. We two more
You talking
questions
about
and that's
feed my
it.
mama, feed my mama.
Oh,
Only one hard not beat says. So my question is, do we as individuals create our own exit plan? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And I don't I don't subscribe to the belief that if you commit suicide, you're going to hell. But I do believe that if you try to take yourself out sooner than you need to, sometimes you end up in a worse position. Like I mean, I feel like I'm not I don't the one thing I will say about suicide is this is gonna sound crazy, but it's one of the most selfish but selfless things you could ever do because you feel like the world doesn't need you, but you don't realize how much the world really needs you, even with being in that position. But once you have lived your life and you go through the things you've gone through, because going through them, you help other people go through them. Um, it's not about you ending your life. You ending your life ends other people's lives. And that's not fair because you were put here to serve a bigger purpose than just living your life. If your job was to go through that in order to save the life of another man or another woman, your kids, your generations down the line, then do you end that lesson? Do you end that line? Is that fair? That's selfish.
Okay, only one heart not beat is asking me, why would you shut that off? Is someone's passing a bad thing? For me, it was emotional because I felt what her mother was going through. Now, I'm here in New York. She lives in Virginia. So for me to be able to feel that and then have to say, then have to call and say, your mom passed, that I couldn't take that. Also, her mother became attached to me, okay? And that really affected me as well because instead of her going to where she's supposed to go, she clung on to me. And I just couldn't handle that. So yes, when you feel a person pass on, it's to me it was like an emotional roller coaster.
When you're directly attached to a person who passed on, it makes it harder, even if they attach themselves to you to help them transition or to even cross them over. Because it's almost like you're crossing over someone you know. It's a lot different when you're crossing over a spirit of someone you don't know or have no type of emotional connection or affiliation with. Then
And
it's also
I'm
it's
sorry.
all That's okay. It's also hard when you still have to see and live with the people that they leave behind. You still have a relationship with her daughter. So oftentimes people will come to us expecting answers to try to fix an issue or to try to fix what's going on. And because we are so directly emotionally attached, it's hard for us, one, to see clearly, two, to speak clearly, or three, to not feel like we're responsible. And in that, what we have to do is take our humanness and understand that we have choice in this exchange. So for her to cut it off, that's a choice. For me, some places I won't do, some things I'm not comfortable with. Like even with answering medical questions. I can give you an idea that it may be a pinched nerve, but I can say, I feel like it's a pinched nerve. You need to go to your doctor and say, hey, I think I got a pinched nerve, and allow them to explore further because they have the education in order to handle and to deal with that. Whereas we necessarily don't. We can go through things where we can open you up and you can find out, or we can give you information that you have buried about traumas and dramas that you've been through. And then we may even say, you need to go see someone. Because if you're not consistently working with someone and you open things up, emotionally, you can put yourself in a tailspin that's not healthy for anyone. And that's another reason why we kind of cut some things off, because
Mm-hmm.
outside of our spiritual gifts, we are still human.
Very true.
Okay.
Very, very true. 4 years and my life was turned upside down. So what is next? What do you want? What do you want from this point on? Whatever it is that you want, work for it. If you want, are ready to start dating, take that step. Right about now everything is online. Um, if you want like a better job, put in resumes. Maybe it's a certain um field that you want to be in. So, you know, what's next for you is what you put out. You don't understand what I'm saying? It's what you
She
desire.
she actually has a more in-depth question than that. She just don't want to put her business out there. So she's
Right.
trying to be kind of like covert with it, as opposed
Yeah.
to asking the actual question. So it's
But
hard for you to
you need a lot
kind
of
of get
healing.
what you're gonna answer without putting her business out there.
Right. But I know for one, she has a lot of healing to do. I'm hearing healing, forgiveness, patience. And, you know, to forgive herself. And don't, I'm getting guilt, but whatever that pertains to, just work through it. Just work through the emotions and then release it. Don't hold on to the past, because the past, holding on to the past does affect your future. Right, Shauna? Didn't I tell you that? You know, so you heal from the past, you hold your head up high, and you move forward. Don't let anybody wear you down. Don't let anybody speak any negative nonsense to you. People want to start drama. No, don't have time for it. Don't have time for it.
We ain't got time for
Yeah,
we ain't got no
you
time
know.
for them.
And it's not, I don't know if this makes any sense to you. It's not a waste of 4 years. It's a lesson. Don't see it as a waste of time. See it as a lesson. See it as a lesson. And that's what we all should do. I always felt that nobody can make a mistake. Nobody makes mistakes. we make decisions based on the situation at that time. If it works out, it works out. If it's not, okay, we learn from that. So when somebody says, "Oh, you made a mistake because you went here instead of there," no, it's not a mistake. It was a life lesson. That was my choice, and I would receive that as a life lesson, not a mistake.
So Daisha says she goes to all her appointments. It's about 3 a week. In that says she got 2 next weeks. She said it's been going on for 4 years now. I'm going to say this. The one thing I think that we lose sight of when it comes to our medical health and our medical journey is that we are the drivers. Doctors are there to practice and we are the drivers. If you feel like there's something more going on or you may need some different type of help, question them about it. Even say, hey, look, what about this or what about that? Because I've been doing this for this long and this is what's going on and I don't feel like I'm making the progress that I want. What else can we do?
Mm-hmm.
Um, one thing I learned from my injury, I was down for 5 years, is that your medical professionals are only as interested in your health as you are. And if they just write you a prescription or tell you what to do and you just kind of go along with the flow and you don't question it or you don't ask for more, they ain't gonna give you more.
And
They'll
always
keep you.
tell them what's wrong. They're not mind readers. Doctors are not mind readers. You let them know what's bothering you. It could be the most minute pain. Let them know because that pain could lead to something else. That could be a warning sign.
And
You
if
know.
they don't do anything, you go somewhere else and you go to another doctor, because I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people problem is. It's not that doctor is not going to dictate anything unless you find out like your second opinion, sometimes even a third opinion, because
Yes.
that's where I was at one point. So I went all these years thinking something is wrong with me when in reality I really did have an issue. I really did have a problem, and that's how I found out I had an autoimmune disorder. So I
Right.
went all those years thinking something is wrong with me. Maybe I need to go back to work, pass out, go back to work, pass out, and wondering what's wrong with me, and not realizing that there was other underlying issues. And then the first thing these doctors nowadays think is you just want pain meds, or you're a junkie, or you're this and you're that, when that is the least of my mind. Like, I just want help. And so whatever issue it is, it doesn't matter if it's minor, that one numb thing can turn into something else. Or if it's something that's causing you a little bit of pain or not able to sleep, eventually down the line it could cause you way more than that, because it happened to me. So yeah, I just had to say that. You don't need a psychic to know that.
And we look at it as minor, and they may look at it as a smaller symptom to something bigger. We don't know.
Right.
All
Yeah.
right,
But
so
I am
only
going to close this down. Yo,
are we gonna say good? We saying bye? Like you said, we
Yeah.
gonna close it down? We saying bye?
oh
Like
wait, you had something for Adonis? Wait, Adonis World?
I don't. Where is Donna's world? I know only one hard not beat
Oh,
said. I
you
understand.
know
I just see
why?
death as a
Because it comes
graduation.
up differently on here than it does on my phone.
Yeah,
Wow.
it.
Okay, I see what she said. My condolences. It's grieving. It is tough. It is tough. Like I said earlier, if you're ready to move forward with the next chapter of your life, then go for it. It's all up to you. You know, if you feel that you're not ready, then you're not ready. But there was something. I don't know. I don't know. I just I'm not connecting. But there is still a lot of grief. a lot of grief, and she needs to. A lot of healing needs to be done. Even if you have a lot of, there are things that you want to say that you feel that you should have said to him before his passing, just write him a letter. Write him a letter with all the things that you want to say. I think that would help with the grieving process as well. But yes, grief is tough.
I'm sorry. I'm getting sleepy. I think this done did
I
it.
am too. I'm there. I'm like,
Oh,
And
my
I
son
never
and
did that
them,
before. I'm always like, we can stay on longer. We can stay on longer. But today
it's
I'm like,
been
all right.
almost it's been almost 3 hours and it's been a lot of energy moving. So when
yes,
this
yes.
happened, it's a lot. Like it's a lot. I'm about to say I'll gladly do it again. I don't mind. Whenever y'all ready.
Yep.
No,
Same
you want
here.
to come back? You want to come back?
Audiences, girl. You ain't know I love an audience.
All right, we can set that up as long as this
I'm
doesn't snow.
or
Oh
my
my
We
life
got to
go
look
God,
at
I
the
feel
crazy.
so
weather.
sorry for you, Toy. Oh my God.
We need to make sure everything is good. It's not a retrograde, Mercury retrograde.
Listen. My little life will be settled soon. I need to call and see if the contractor start working on the house so I can have my own space. This is just my little world is crazy right now, but it's gonna all come together. God is good
Mhm.
all the time. All
Mhm.
the time, God is good.
Amen. Amen. But yes, we will definitely talk, ladies, and thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having us. It was fun.
Yes,
Yes.
we
Yes.
definitely do this again.
All right. You guys have a good night.
You too. Bye. Bye, security.
Oh my God.